Welcome back. Moments ago, the House passed a $70 billion piece of legislation funding the Department of Homeland Security. This is what they call the reconciliation bill, where you only need majority support to get it done. In this case, in the House, all Republicans voted in favor of the legislation, while all Democrats and California independent Kevin Kiley, who for now is caucusing with Republicans, opposed it. This legislation is set to fund ICE and Border Patrol for 3 years, and it now heads to President Trump's desk. This is a significant legislative achievement for the White House and for congressional Republicans who are trying to get this issue of immigration handled before the midterm election. So let's bring in our political panel, Democratic strategist Kendra Barkoff Lamy and Republican strategist Sarah Chamberlain. Good to see both of you. We don't need to dive into the nitty-gritty of the legislation other than to say this now, in essence, has addressed and maybe puts aside the issue of immigration, which, of course, got tied up in what went on in Minneapolis, the death of 2 Americans who were protesting what their government was up to, but now done through majority support. What does this potentially do to scramble the midterms?
Well, the best part is it's done through the president's term, too, for 3 years. So that helps. And what they're trying to do is kind of put this on the side as we go into a contentious midterm. Immigration now is kind of on the side and hopefully off the table in a positive way, which the Republicans desperately needed after the incidents you mentioned as we came on.
But I imagine this allows Democrats to rewrite the ads and say, look what they've just approved.
It does, and it also allows us, Democrats, to say, don't send them to the Election Day polling spots where people are going to go vote, because I think that we have seen some reports that there has been threats to send ICE to those places on Election Day, and I think that would not be a great use of government funding. I think a lot of people would take issue with the legality of that, and I think it would be bad for our country as a whole to send ICE to that. There was
another meeting of the House Oversight Committee today regarding the Jeffrey Epstein affair. Longtime assistant to Epstein, a woman named Leslie Groff, was brought in to testify. Kendra, what do you make of the progress, or maybe the lack thereof, in this investigation, despite the fact that it's generated so much bipartisan concern?
I think the overall takeaway is there's finally something that's happening, which is really important to the survivors who have asked for accountability and for justice for years and years and years. I think the issue that we are seeing is that there is still a politicization of this issue, which is wrong for them. I think they want answers, they want justice, they want transparency, but they shouldn't have members, frankly, on both sides of the aisle, using them and using this as a go back and forth. I hope that what they got from Ms. Groff was honest. My guess is once we see the transcript, it will be, we shall see. But they should bring in every single person who was in his orbit. Any enabler should be talked to by them and by what's going on in the state of New Mexico as well.
Sarah, it seems as if the president, at least, has shaken off the attention of this or the scrutiny. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, it's a fair assessment. And people have kind of stopped talking about it, though the Republican Party really is trying to get to the bottom of this. It may be slower than people would like, but they are trying to get this, like, who is affected by this, who was involved. I mean, they're attempting to. We got a little piece of information today that she said she put together phone calls with President Trump. We kind of suspected that, but she said it wasn't on a regular basis. So we knew President Trump knew Epstein. But they are attempting to get to the bottom of this, however slow it may be.
They are, but I don't know if the current Attorney General is, who has closed the door on
acting Attorney General. Who'd like to be full-time Attorney General.
Yes. Who has completely closed the door, though, on filing even any potential criminal charges or looking at this from a criminal standpoint. And I think that's frankly just wrong, because we don't know what they're going to find in the House oversight. So I think they should not be closing that door either.
I want to ask you, Sarah, Spencer Pratt has now fallen out of contention for the general election in the LA mayor's race. This was a campaign that seemingly came out of nowhere and was very much generated by online content and online outrage, which clearly didn't manifest enough votes or on-the-ground support in the city of Los Angeles. But I'm curious if you think there's anything more Republicans can learn from what he was doing, either in terms of getting attention or in terms of trying to flip the script in states where maybe Republicans haven't succeeded before,
well, I think
or at least in recent history.
I think the members of Main Street especially are really focusing on back home and the issues of back home, which is what he was focusing on, the fire, obviously, which was a total disaster for L.A. So the members of Main Street, the lesson they took out of that is, okay, let's do more social media and let's really focus on the issues going on in our districts versus maybe what's happening in Washington. It's been a very interesting learning lesson. I'm sorry he came in third. It would have been interesting to see him go into the runoff. against the sitting mayor.
When you guys talk to clients or candidates who are running and they see the use of AI as aggressive as it was with him, are they comfortable using it in that way? Are they concerned about how it can be used to manipulate voters?
I can only speak for the members of the Republican Main Street Partnership. Depends on their age. If they're a little older,
okay,
they're a little more concerned about it. If they're younger, they get it. They use it a little bit better than the older ones do. The older ones kind of leave it to their staffs. There's a lot of growth that has to go around AI because people don't understand it and they don't understand where it's going. The leader in AI in the House is a member of Main Street, Jay Obernolte, and he's trying to educate the members because he actually has a master's degree in AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They want to use it?
Well, I think that it's an interesting tool. It's a smart tool, but I also think that Congress at some point needs to step in and figure out like where is the line on regulation because there's been none. And it's going to be an important piece of moving forward AI in general. We see it moving way faster than I think anybody anticipated. And so I do hope at some point Congress comes in and does something to also regulate it.
I hope they will. I agree with you.
We'll see. Kendra, Barkoff, Lamy, Sarah Chamberlain, thank you both. Good to see you on a busy Tuesday. We appreciate it.